it's supposed to feel.
Friends, brethren, countrymen, that cursed
Flag for the testing key.
has now arrived in Boston Harbor. At 45 shall Jesus, the mate of that most pernicious breed. Huzzah! Weather, I know I am. Well, friends, you probably survived by now. Francis Roach still has not returned from Milton, which at this point should come as a surprise to absolutely no one.
So, while we continue to await his return, I'm just going to begin passing out everybody's colonial identities for tonight's proceedings. But before I do, have in my hand two very brief speaking opportunities for two individuals during tonight's meeting. They're very short, 1 to 2 sentences at the most, and honestly, it's over before you know it. So who wants that number wishes to volunteer to make up the hand up already? Wonderful, thank you very much. Mr. Thomas Porter, there you go. Mr. Porter. Mr. Adams is going to call upon you by name. You want to volunteer also? Wonderful, thank you very much. So for both of you, Mr. Adams is going to call upon you by name at different points of the speech. You know, your name is Thomas Porter, Mr. James Brewer, he's going to ask you a question, and when he's done talking, you're going to respond with some right down on the card with quotation marks and a nice loud voice. Can you both do that for me? Wonderful. Now to see the rest of you, but you don't have to worry, everyone else in this deck is mute. Hopefully not too mute. It's the Boston Town meeting. You make a lot of noise here. And that's just when we're sober. So, joining us from my friends.
Single kilometer Texas.
Never heard of that. Alright, welcome to 7 Ingersoll Brown, Carpenter, Charlestown. They go as well as Mr. Benjamin Burton of Cushing, Maine, here aboard the Cumberland. Welcome. And hello to you, my friends. You as well, Mr. Person with a very large object on the end of a stick. Anyway, where are you joining us from? Texas.
No.
Well, that word Texas sounds eerily like the word taxes. Probably only because we've been using it in every other sentence since 1765, so it starts to blend together. Anyway, let's have a look at the Thomas Chase Distillery, Chase and Speakman's Distillery, as well as an artist, Son of Liberty, Mr. Curtis, Captain of Fire Engine 8. There you go. And camera, let's see for you, my friend, George Robert 12 Hughes, shoemaker by trade. There you go. And let's see for you, good sir, Mr. Thomas Horace, of Liberty and founding member of the Loyal Nine. Welcome.
Everybody, settle down. My word, a man can barely hear himself think over the roar of this angry mob.
We'll get there. I'm sure all 5,000 of you are eager to get this meeting underway, but before we do, a very brief word on your safety.
And now, we invite you to join the Sons and Daughters of Liberty in a rendezvous with Mr.
Welcome, my friends and neighbors to Old South. Thank you for joining us on this appropriately gray, dark, rainy evening of December 16, 1773. My name is Josiah Wheeler, and I'm a housewife by trade here in town. As the title would suggest, my profession deals mainly in the building and repairing of houses, which means I am the very man you call if anything around the house leaks, creaks, or squeaks. Thank you for laughing. That was my wife's idea. Anyway, all terrible jokes aside, I am also a concerned citizen of Boston. You see, I and my fellow housewives have struggled these past few years, particularly during the Townsend Act. Imagine, if you will, trying to build or fix a house and being forced to pay a tax on lead, glass, paint colors, all essential tools to my trade, all while trying to support a wife and raise a son. Well, I don't have to imagine any of that, because thanks to Parliament, that was my reality. So how did I respond, you may ask? Well, for the last 19 days, the 3 ships carrying the tea have docked in Boston Harbor, and many men have nightly volunteered to stand guard over the first vessel to arrive, the Dartmouth, making certain that tea does not leave the cargo hold. In fact, I myself was there the very day after the Dartmouth's arrival, standing guard on the wharf alongside many members of this very assembly. Among them, my own brother-in-law, John Crane. Give us a wave there, Johnny. Thank you. And after all, who would I be if I simply stood to the side and did nothing? As I tried to tell my son Sam, it does no good to sit there on your hands merely listening. Then again, he's 3, so... But in all seriousness, I would ask the same of all of you. As we continue to await a resolution from the town of Milton, I call upon every friend to their country and to posterity to make their opinions known during this meeting. In other words, you're in Boston. Don't be afraid to make some noise. And there are a few ways you do just that. For example, you may give a mighty stomp of your feet. I'll try that together. You may you may bang on the pews. Really, just remember, when in doubt, hit something, not someone, Mr. Bradley. And if you prefer to be more vocal, especially if you hear anything you agree with, you may give a shout. For example, you may say, hear, hear. Let's try that together as well. Hear, hear. Or well said. Well said. Well, thank you. Other thoughts on myself. Or my personal favorite, you may ball your hand to a fist. Pull it back. Punch it into the air, and loudly cry out, huzzah! Huzzah! I think we do a bit better than that. Let's try that together on my hip hip, shall we? So, hip hip. Huzzah! Hip hip. Huzzah! That's enough. Now, in the very likely event you hear anything you disagree with, and trust me, you're going to, we're discussing politics, you are more than encouraged to boo! Yes, you didn't need help with that one, did you? Or you may hiss. Now, there's a den of angry snakes in here. Or you may use the rudest word we have here in the colonies, and that word is fi. F-I-E. There's an equally offensive hand gesture that goes along with it. And you can see we have some very young patriots in attendance here tonight, being a responsible parent myself. Naturally, I'm going to teach it to you. So, stick out your thumb, land it on your nose, raise the flag, turn to whomever you wish to permanently offend, and shout fi! And turning at each other already. Now it's a town meeting. Well, on to the business at hand, everyone. We have here speaking with us on the matter of the tea and orange patriot, a leader amongst the Sons of Liberty, and a friend to us all, Mr. Samuel Adams!
Well, good day, friends! We are gathered here to discuss yet another crisis forced upon us by Parliament, supposedly on behalf of our monarch, King George III. Out in Boston Harbor, we have 3 ships, the Eleanor, the Dartmouth, and the Brig Beaver, and their holds all bursting with 340 crates of East India Company tea. Under the law, each of these vessels has 20 days to upload its cargo and pay the duty or tax on tea. Tomorrow marks the 20th day for the ship Dartmouth, making this body of the people all the more important. This is your final chance to affect these events in our favor! Now, earlier this day it was requested that the ship Dartmouth's owner, a man by the name of Francis Roach, obtain word from our esteemed royal governor, Thomas Hutchinson. Indeed, a man who abandoned the cause of the people years ago. Yet, he is the only one who can grant a pass to allow these vessels to return to England without landing their pernicious cargoes. Now, Mr. Roach left several hours ago. We await his return and cling to the hope that the governor will listen to reason. For if that cargo is unloaded, it will be you, the good people of Boston, who will be forced to pay this unjust tax on tea. As we all know, this is not the first time Parliament has set forth taxes upon us without our consent. It was only 8 short years ago, in 1765, Lord Grenville saw fit to tax our letters, our newspapers, all of our printed documents under the Stamp Act. Even our marriage licenses and death certificates. Now, death and taxes are displeasurable enough as is. But only those in Parliament would stoop so low as to combine the two.
Well said, sir, well said.
Thank you. Many were outraged by the Stamp Act. Many sent to the streets. I am not the only one to be outspoken on these issues, as I see we have Thomas Porter with us. Now, Mr. Porter, you have always been quite vocal on these issues of taxation, so what say you on the Stamp Act?
Parliament not only taxed their paper and ink, they even taxed their playing cards and debts.
Sir, I see you're just as angry as you were 8 years ago. We were told that these taxes were meant to pay our debt from the French and Indian War, a debt for which we have already paid 1,000 times over. For was it not our fathers, our brothers, why, many of us in this very room who fought alongside the king's army during that conflict? If there was ever a debt to be paid, I say we did so at the expense of blood. And with that, New England blood. Unfortunately, this is a price we know far too well here in Boston. Lest we forget those 5 innocent Bostonians who were gunned down on King Street in March of 1770. Massacred by the very British regulars sent here to protect our streets. Now, thanks to the work of my cousin John Adams, we did give those men a fair trial, and the entirety of the 29th Regiment was soon recalled thereafter, but the recall of one regiment alone is not enough.
No.
I say nothing short of a total evacuation of the town by all of these bloody back troops. That will be enough to satisfy the public mind and preserve the peace. But our cries, as loud and valiant as they have been, well, they go unheard by those in Parliament. After the Stamp Act was repealed at the behest of our king, those greedy ministers next saw fit to pinch our pewter candlesticks, our paint, our lead, glass, tea, all taxed under men. We thought our friend in Parliament, the good name of Charles Townsend.
Find his name, find the turn, Townsend.
Now, Mr. Porter, your anger has been echoed by others as well, such as James Brewer. Now, sir, I heard your home needed new windows, but with this tax on glass, how did you pay for them?
I did not pay for them. I was forced to choose between my new windows or putting food in my family's bellies.
Outrageous. I'm so sorry to hear that, sir. I see you brought your family with you, practically famished. Well, fear not, for in response to outrages such as these, the merchants of Boston, we banded together. We signed non-importation agreements stating that we would no longer buy or sell any of these unjustly taxed goods. Many of the women of Boston, our daughters of liberty, signed non-consumption agreements, promising that no English goods would enter their homes. By your united efforts, by your united resolve, we forced many of these Townsend duties to be repealed. But there appears to be an ever-growing hole in the purse of the English treasury, and those greedy eyes have now turned to our tea. If Lord North wishes to enforce a 3 penny per pound tax to signify the supremacy of Parliament, and its supposed rights to tax the colonies, well then we have the right to demand representation there! Yeah. The Magna Carta of 1215, our Charter of 1691, these are the very bouts of all British liberties, and they make it very clear. No English subjects can be taxed without the consent of their representatives. If Parliament wishes to tax us like Englishmen, to have us go to war and to fight like Englishmen, well then don't we deserve the same basic rights as Englishmen? We must all cling to the spirited words of James Otis that echoed from State House Square and rang through these beloved colonies like a trumpet from heaven. Taxation without representation is tyranny, and the time for petition, the time for compromise is over!
The governor's word is in.
Let's see what he has to say then. Well, it appears that the governor is willing to grant anything consistent with the laws and his duties to king, but orders. The vessels cannot leave unless the cargo is unloaded as the law demands. What say you to this, Boston? There you have it. Our governor has refused to send the tea back to England. He has refused every petition, every recourse to an amicable solution. And dare I say now, he has forced our hand. We, the good people of Boston, must now decide what to do. So I shall turn to you, Mr. Wheeler.
Yes?
Well, you've spent some time down at the wharf, so perhaps you have some idea of what to do with this tea.
Well, Mr. Adams, I say that salt water and tea should mix tonight. What say all of you friends? Shall we destroy the king's tea?
Yeah! I sense some hesitancy in the crowd. Perhaps we should put it to a formal vote. All those in favor of destroying the king's tea say aye! All those opposed? None! Moving on, excellent. Appears we have a mighty mob on our hands, but hopefully a cautious one, for if you destroy the tea tonight, you may be subject to arrest. Our families and those who harbor us will be subject to the fullest penalties of the law if we are caught. Therefore, we will do our very best to conceal our identities this night.
How shall we do that, Mr. Adams?
Cloaks and blankets will suffice, but let us also use a symbol well known to those of the colonies. Our unique symbol for North America, fearsome and independent, that of the Mohawk. Now rally, patriots, huzzah! Teapot tonight! It is clear there's nothing more our meeting can do to save this country.
That's the signal, everyone. Rise up, gather your belongings. You will not be returning here. We may go later for Britain's war. Huzzah! It's quite simple. When I say jump to the T, you'll all respond into the sea. So, jump to the T! Into the sea! Jump to the T! Into the sea! Into the sea! Jump to the T! Into the sea! He never specified as to which side of the vessel.
Oh goodness, well we might as well make swift work. All aboard! We have been assigned to the Eleanor for our laborers. Please watch your head. Ship ship's rocking quite a bit at the time. Now once everyone's here on deck, we're going to start discussing consequences before you decide to commit your first crime or another crime. Off the board. Feel free to gather anywhere amongst the main deck. Now I do want to make sure that you didn't get swept up in all this excitement. So, if you are here to destroy the King's tea, say aye. If you are here to throw up the yoke of parliamentary duty, say aye. If you are here to be captured and arrested for treason, say aye. No, committing a crime. This is a serious punishment if we're caught. Does anyone know the punishment for treason? Yeah, execution. Yes, it's by hanging. It's rather embarrassing. It's something I'd like to avoid, but it's not our only danger. The Navy's out there with 3 warships, no bullets, none mark. They're the active class and they will open fire if we steal the ships and then we sail them back to left. But that takes care of the Navy. The Army is out of possibility, but they could stop us if they get an order from the esteemed Royal Governor Thomas Hutchinson. There he is. He's fled town, so there's no governor, no army, nor navy. What enemy remains? Just each other. Well, we're friends and neighbors and co-workers, but if we start bragging about our heroism, we could end up in some hot water. So I suggest we think about never to reveal who is here, yes? Yes. One of them raise a hand on high, repeat after me. I swear.
I swear.
I was not there.
I was not there.
Now, I have 3 chests of tea. Everyone will get a chance to join, I promise. But just first volley. How about my friend with the headband here? My friend with the short pants here? And how about my friend with the camel hat right here? Excellent. On the count of 3, we're going to crawl these into the icy depths. 1, 2, 3, into the Harvey! Good show! Now we only have 111 to go! Oh goodness, the enthusiasm waned. All right, we shall continue our labors down below decks where I lie the rest of the cargo. And as we storm, I do mean, follow me in the single file order to line down this set of stairs. Please use the handrails, watch your head. We have a saying here in Boston.
Second. Yes, everybody, follow Miss Ruggles down below. Once you're back above deck, there'll be ample opportunity to toss more tea as well as explore the rest of the ship. Yeah, take as many instant portraits as you like, whatever those rectangles you're so obsessed with are. You can always use it later to blackmail your neighbor.
around. Yes, we're protesting the tax where it's up. You seem confused. I am also very confused. I'm glad y'all are here. I'm right out here for me. I'm just stuck with the basics. Okay, good. That's fine. Okay. Welcome down below, my friends. Please do watch your head and staff. The coast is a little dark right now. If you can hear me down below deck, say aye. Aye. If you can hear me up above deck, say aye. Aye. If you cannot hear me, say aye. Oh no, speak up. Now, my friends, you're in the process of entering into the cargo hold of the Eleanor, which would be carrying tea. Yes, but also cargo. The cargo hold. Now, this ship is a constant trader, and for 18 years now, it's been on a set path. That path is from Boston, its home, down to the Caribbean, specifically Antigua, over to London and back, trading goods from all over the world. But you all arrived. Tonight, we're only looking for tea. Could someone point out a tea chest to me? As keen eyes you have, there's some towards the aft, there's some amidships. You can tell it's tea because all 340 are wrapped in white canvas and then stamped with the merchant seal or company logo right on top. UEIC, United East India Company. Destruction is going to be a little bit harder. You've already walked a half mile in all the snow and sleet. Now you have to jump on board and chop through this canvas, then chop through the wooden layer, then chop through the lead foil lining soldered shut inside. Then you can finally reach the anywhere from about 40 pounds to 400 pounds of the King's Fowl brew, or 200 kilos. You seem strong, my friend. Can you handle 400 pounds by your lonesome? I couldn't either. And more bad news, these stairs are not here in 73. They take up too much cargo space. So we're going to have to work together to fashion some teamwork and some engineering. So those of you with physically demanding jobs, the blacksmiths, the carpenters, the coopers, will be down below decks, wrapping ropes around these heavy crates and pulling them above with a device called a block and tackle or rope and pulley system. That helps us cut the weight in half. Meanwhile, your friends above with more city hands. The doctors, the lawyers, the merchants, the tailors will chop through all those layers, dump it in the sea, and then do it another 114 times in a snowstorm. I know, I think that if we work together, it should only take us about 3.5 hours, yes? Oh, goodness, I know. I do say that we have one more enemy tonight, and it's this captain back here. James Bruce is a bit of a loyalist, and he's not pleased that we stormed on his ship, so I say you pilfer his cabin a bit. So, my friends on the port side, you are going to lead the charge into his quarters. You're going to enter in on the right, loop around that beam in the center, go counterclockwise, and up this set of stairs for me. Onwards, my friends. Those of you on the starboard are going to do an about face towards the forecastle, where the crew of 8 to 10 would be sleeping, and then wrap around that floor of it with 4 masts.